water resources management in the face of climate variability and change activity. I would like to thank Brown International Advanced Research Institution and Florida International University, and also the host. The host is the Programa de Investigación en Cambio Climático de la UNAM, the PINC, the Climate Change Research Program of the university. But also I would like to thank the Centro de Investigaciones del Agua de la Universidad Autónoma de Querétaro, que todavía no, we don't have the representative yet, and el Programa Universitario del Agua, el Dr. Fernando González Villarreal, who's the coordinator of the UMAGUA, the Water, UNAM Water Program, and the Tecnológico de Monterrey. Thank you very much for all of you being here. And I just welcome to Mexico, and I hope that this meeting is a very successful one, and many ideas come out of it, and so that we can establish some sort of collaboration. And I think that we are trying to discuss a topic that some years ago they said, well, this is just a fashion. It's going to be a passing fashion. You see, climate change. What the heck is that? And, nobody believes it. Nobody really believes in that, and now we are all believing in that. And the fact is that climate change, in a sense, changes all our perception of a sort of a smooth transition to the future, because we talk about the idea of sustainable development, and sustainable development can be compromised by climate change. There is no way of now deciding with certainty what is going to happen in the future, and we have to resort to the building of scenarios and try to see how strategically we would shift from one scenario to another as conditions present themselves in the future. I think that the topic is very important. This was discussed in 2002, I think, in India during the 8th meeting of the Conference of the Parties of the Convention, United Nations Convention on Climate Change, and the topic was of climate change and sustainability. And I think that this idea has not sunk enough. That all the plans that we can make for the future can be compromised by climate change. And I was fortunate to be invited by Fernando to the 6th Water Forum. It was a very, how could I put it, very teaching experience. And there are few things that I could extract from that. And the things are getting so complicated in the sense that we don't know with certainty which way we are going. That we had to do a lot of mental exercises in order to prepare ourselves to see which way are we taking. And one of the ideas that I caught in that forum was that now policy has to be based on science. There is no way that policy can be done in terms of, let's say, experience or osmotic absorption of experiences. Policy has to be based in science, because what we are dealing with is very complicated and very complex problems. And the topics and some of the things that we are going to be talking here, or we are going to be discussing these ideas of integrated water management schemes. Let's put it in the context of climate again. So many things that we've been doing traditionally that we learned to these things. Now we have to put them in the context of climate change. And the idea, sustainability of integrated water resources management. You see, integrated water and also sustainable water resources management. And all of these immerse in this idea of that the conditions in the future are changing. So I think that we have a big base of, well, one of the things that we sometimes face is that we talk about, for example, adaptation to climate change, and we do that adaptation, or we plan about that adaptation in terms of what we observe and the data that we collect at present. And what I say is that would be done anyway in the absence of climate change. What makes these things special is that we have to put climate change in the table. We cannot do that without climate change. So we can do the analysis and we can do the diagnostics about how we are doing things now, and that we could do many things much better than we do now, but we have to put them in the context of climate change. Otherwise we would do just doing environmental assessment or not with climate change. So it is very important to have this in mind. Otherwise, we will do what has been done. What we should have done in the past that we didn't do. But anyway, if we do those things, if we do those things better, we'll be better prepared to face the future. But we have to put that into perspective. You see, we have to calculate, or we have to see that we might be 1 degree. We might be 2 degrees, we might be 4 degrees warmer than today. And that is going to put a lot of, let's say, we'll have to develop a lot of ideas to be able to accommodate to these changing conditions. If we don't achieve what all these meetings and conventions would like to achieve. So, welcome again, and I'm exhausting, I don't know how many minutes, but I'm fine. And what we could do is, instead of me reading your bios or biographies, why don't we do around the table, and we can introduce ourselves. We are few, so we can do that. Why don't we start with you?
Okay, my name is Shimal Satin. I am the Program Executive Officer for Global Water for Sustainability Program at Florida International University. And I'm also the organizer of this workshop together with Armando. And I know Armando me since 2011, like almost 3 years.
Let me be diplomatic. Thank you very much for organizing the forum. These are the parts of I feel miserable. Thank
you for that. I will maybe later in our presentation a little bit more say about what we are working at Florida International University and so on. So,
my name is Armando Sanchez. I am a full-time researcher at the Economic Research Institute at the University of Mexico. What I can say is that I've been working in this type of topics thanks to Carlos. He introduced me to work in these very interesting areas. What I am expecting from this seminar is collaborative work. You know, in the university we are convinced that the only way to cope with these climate change issues is by collaborative work. Actually, in the program, the PINC, we are trying to make these kind of links with some universities. We are currently working with Berkeley University. We expect to have something similar with Florida. I hope we can do that. We are working with some NGOs, international NGOs, and some national NGOs in order to design this kind of program. So what I want to say is this, collaborative work I think is the solution.
I'm Fernando Gonzalez. I direct the water network in the university. We link together about 26 different centers and schools in the university dealing with water. We're trying to do a cross-sectoral work within the university. was previously involved in the Mexican government and the World Bank in different topics related to water. Thank you.
I'm Marilani Dominguez, and I work in UNAM's Water Network, Dr. Fernando Gonzalez. I'm also a professor at the university. I've been working for the last 3 years in water topics, so I thank you for the invitation to this workshop.
Good morning. I am Diana Calada. I work in the UTPL in Ecuador. I am working in water and the problem of water. I expect in this workshop is learning and we participate in discussion and these topics of climate change.
I'm Cecilia Lafigue, and I come from BOMAGO, which is the Program of Water Management, Use and Reuse, of which Dr. Fernando González Villarreal is director, and I will present to you the program later on.
Good morning, my name is Ryan Stoa. I'm the Deputy Director of the Global Water for Sustainability Program. My background is in environmental law. I'm a lawyer. I teach at FIU's College of Law. Courses include Water Resources Law and the Environmental Law Clinic. At GLOWS, I help manage a natural resources management program in the watersheds of Georgia in the South Caucasus. It's a really interesting program that works on a number of different issues in the watersheds, including small grant programs, capacity building, youth engagement, technical assistance to the government, etc.
Well, my name is Jose Alberto Tejada Aguilar, well, I am originally from Peru, but I've been working in different parts. I worked, let's say, starting in 1990, I was in the United Nations, so I was in the master plan of Yemen, then strengthening of the Bangladesh Hydrological Service, and from 1996 until 2011 in the UNESCO, IHP International Hydrological Program, you might have heard. I'm originally a civil engineer, hydrologist, then I have a master at Stanford on engineering and economic planning, another degree from Delft University, and finally a doctorate from Cornell, water resource systems. So, I mean, so there's been a lot of water. So at the end, I just cannot keep away from water. So now in this latest reincarnation, I've been fortunate enough to be able to join GLOWS and Maria in Miami, in FIU, and helping out with projects, especially in Africa, in which we use water as the main theme to push development. All right, that's it.
Thank you. I'm Carlos Gay. I'm a researcher at the National University of Mexico at the Center for Atmospheric Science, the Center of Ciencias de la Atmósfera. I've been, well, now I'm coordinating the climate change research program of the University, PINC, by its acronym in Spanish. I've been working in, well, I'm an atmospheric physicist, and I have a PhD in astrogeophysics, but I've been involved in climate change for the last 20 years or so, and I was one of these, how you say, the oracles of climate change. The oracles of climate change.
I can pass it down.
Finally, it's occurring, and well, I'm very happy to be here. I hope that I can be with you all the time. I'm not sure, but I'll try my best. And welcome again.
Ok, mi nombre es Efraín Ospina y siento mucho no poder hablar inglés fluidamente. Lo sigo, a todos sí lo sigo. Estoy estudiando, dicen que el oro viejo no aprende a hablar. Vamos a ver. Yo trabajo con el doctor Carlos Gay en el programa de investigación en cambio climático y pues mis líneas de investigación, mi interés, la he enfocado mucho a lo que es el manejo integral de cuencas, recursos hídricos y cambio climático. Teniendo el recurso hídrico como un recurso transversal en prácticamente todas las actividades humanas y dador y regulador de vida. Entonces, es mi preocupación y pues ahí estoy con el doctor tratando de elaborar cosas.
anfitriones. Mi nombre es María Concepción Donoso, yo soy la directora del programa CLOSE y también miembro de la Facultad de Ciencias y Artes de la Universidad Internacional de la Florida, con los cuales estoy trabajando por 3 años en lo que ha sido la coordinación de la fase 2 de este programa, que básicamente, como voy a exponer más adelante, se dedica al desarrollo de programas de desarrollo, valga la redundancia. Sin embargo, a través de la universidad, nosotros siempre incluimos componentes sustanciales de investigación y capacitación. Quiero agradecer y aprovechar que es la primera vez que hablo así en términos generales a PINC y a la UNAM por haberse ofrecido como anfitriones y en particular a Chimalis y a Armando, porque sé que les ha sido difícil encontrar una fecha que fuera conveniente para ambos grupos y bueno, muchas gracias por todo el esfuerzo. Así que con esto pasaríamos a...
Yo les diría a las chicas que nos están ayudando que también se presenten así para
Claro.
práctica en inglés.